Okay, so this video is intended to show how the design process for skewed culverts is done. First, we need to find a skewed culvert. This is one of them, culvert B. We're doing each culvert in its separate model. Let's make sure that we have Geopak Project Manager turned on. Go to your thing. And now minimize this. This is just like the main menu for it. You don't have to have it on or open. It doesn't have to be on the screen. And with that set, you can now go to active chain control. And get this window out of the way. Okay, with active chain control, we're going to have view 1 as our plan view. So you right click, plan, and view 4 or window 4 is our cross section. Also do cross section navigate. And let's see where that is. This area. Let's turn off the existing so we can see what's going on. Alright, so we're currently looking at the skewed one. There's 3 sections here on the middle one. We're going to go ahead and delete these. This is a working file. The reference file is still good, so use that one instead of this. Let's delete that, all that. Let's go back to what we had originally. We'll go do that on all the sections here. So use the cross section navigator. Let's delete this thing. One thing we want to make sure we're doing is we can't have the downstream end buried underneath the ground. That doesn't work. So if that's happening, something's wrong. Basically, you want to start with the skewed section, or the section along the pipe that we're proposing. Why is that still turned on? Turn that off. That off. Okay. Turn that level off. So we can kind of see what we're doing. Turn that off. So we have our proposed culvert here. Our head walls over here. Our other head walls over here. The white lines are our existing roadway. You'll notice that the ends here match up with the edge of roadway. I think that there's an offset for the curb, because these white lines are the back of curb, and the roadway set at the base of the curb, so that's why that offset's there. But basically, you have your alignment, or your section view going through the culvert here. That can be a little challenging to understand. So I've created a 3D model may help. So let's look at that. Okay, so this is the top view of the 3D model. Well, let's look at the ISO view. This is the roadway. This is the culvert under the ground, and the head walls. This isn't an exact representation, but it's close. So here's a section view. If we move this onto the pipe, you'll notice, and we can view it at that pipe. So here's your head wall, your pipe goes all the way through, and then your roadway's on top. But if you're just looking at this view, that's all you're going to see. That's for along the pipe. Now if we move that out and move it perpendicular, we got another section here that's perpendicular to the roadway. You'll notice, okay, hold on. So when we cut it in the middle of the head wall, like this, and we go to look at it in the section view, all we're going to see, the blue's the only part in this section, is the roadway and this first head wall. We're not going to see the other head wall. So that's why we design the head wall ends and then connect the dots in between the two to find these elevations. I don't know if that's helping or not. That may not be helpful. But this is one of the views, this is one of the views, and this is the other view. So when you're perpendicular to the alignment, the main lane alignment, you're not going to see the whole pipe. You can only see one head wall or the other head wall. When you're, get that out, this is the active cut, move it back in. The only time you see the whole pipe is when you're skewed along that pipe, when the section view is along the pipe. So let's go back to Geopak and try and draw that up. So we have this point here, take that, snap to it, and lock in the station and the offset. We can draw our line, do it in the working line file, or working line style. We click there, and we got the station, offset, we lock it, and we come down to the section view, draw that. Do the same thing on the downstream side. Yeah. Click our point. And we lock the station and offset, hit apply, draw a line in between the two. So in this area, the lowest we can go is right here. So we'll bring that, take the locks off, go into the culvert drawing, default culvert, Bowles culvert. Go straight from there to here, there, find the upstream side. Seems to be a small ditch running right here, running right around here, so we can tie in from there. Now, ideally, we don't want to go through the roadway. That's physically not possible to do. So the only thing we can control in this situation is moving the roadway up, which we'll have to do later after we design these. There's not a solid, there's nothing that lends to where the upstream side should be. It should be no higher than this, but it can be lower. So we'll put it at a 1% grade. So we'll go over 100, up 1. That draws the line at 1%. We'll extend that line out to the head wall. Trim this piece off. Let's see what size this thing is. So we'll measure perpendicular. 30 inches, 2.5 foot, 30 inches. So we'll copy this. This is the flow line. The flow line's the bottom inside of the pipe. So now we need the top inside of the pipe, which is 2.5 feet up. The wall thickness for 3.5 inch or 2.5 inch, 2.5 foot pipe is, don't remember. So we'll go look at the Proterra pipe. Uh, 30 inches, 3.5 inch wall thickness. So we'll copy this up 3.5 over 12 to make it inches. So 3.5 over 12 to make it inches. There's our pipe. We've got to connect the existing ground to the pipe. Same thing on the downstream side. We're showing that we're going to come out here. We need to find these elevations. We need to find the downstream elevation, which is 695.13. Find the upstream elevation, which is 696.87. And we need to find the elevation at the main lane center line, which is 696.02. Now we can go to the next section. Next section is the upstream section. Once again, we do the station offset to find the head wall location. Is it working? And notice that these are not in the same location. Okay, this offset only works for this section. This offset only works for this section. You can't use both of them at the same time. So this is our offset, and then we have an elevation of 696. .87. Lock that. And we need the elevation at the center line, which was 696.02. Apply. Draw that. Now we draw the just like before, we draw the culvert by connecting the dots. Here and here. 3.5. 3.5 over 12. Make it inches. 3.5 over 12. Make it inches. Connect the head wall to the existing ground. And that's it for this side. Now we'll go to the downstream side. Find the head wall location. lock it in. Finish our working line style. Draw the location of the head wall. Then we type in the elevation of 696.13. And then the elevation at the center line, 696.02. And connect the dots to create the culvert. So from that point to this point, copy it up, select it, copy it, 2.5 feet, and copy that to 3.5 over 12 to make it inches, and copy this one down, 3.5 over 12, make it inches. Still can't have the flow line underneath the existing ground, or the culvert does not work. So we need to connect it with the existing ground. It must be sloping downwards. If it slopes up, it also does not work. It would just trap water in that. So it's got to be either flat or down. Get to down, and that way it can get out. We will have to check and make sure that this is able to get out and over this hump. If not, we'll have to maybe grade this down, or maybe there's a stream that goes in this direction. But that's the culvert on the downstream side. And that's how you design culverts on a skew. I'm expecting a lot of questions. I know that wasn't extremely clear, but hopefully it'll help ask better questions, and we can get to a point where we're both comfortable with everybody comfortable designing these. All right.